Can you briefly describe the operation here?
Well, we run a registered purebred Brahman stud, mainly around about 800 cows, and 500 of those are joined to Angus bulls, and 300 are kept for bull breeding purposes.
What advantage do you get from crossbreeding?
Well, what comes to my mind first would be hybrid vigour, and we find with the crossbreeding, we find the crossbred animals have a better constitution, better weight gain, more milk than the purebred parents, and plus fertility is a very, very strong point.
Are there any disadvantages?
Not really, in as much that we breed our own Brahman cattle because they suit our environment. So we then have to source, we like Angus cattle, and we source Angus bulls each year to join the purebred Brahman cattle, purebred Brahman cows too. No, there's no real disadvantages. The F1 steers are great steers and perform very well and kill out well. And all our F1 heifers are sold. We market them all because they're so valuable to us. We market them all, and so your only disadvantage is you've got to make sure you have the purebred Brahman cows, or select a number of purebred Brahman heifers each year as replacements. Right. So you're virtually selling your best heifers. Yeah. But we find it's a very, very good, lucrative business.
And all the males are terminal?
Yes, they're steers, and at present they go. We haven't got any fattening country, so they go as store steers for someone else to fatten.
How do you source your females?
All the females are bred ourselves. So we have our purebred Brahman bulls that put to our purebred Brahman cows, and the replacement heifers are kept from that joining.
How important is it to have the right genetics to get the best results through hybrid vigour?
Oh, very important, very important. A lot of people think if you have we'll talk about our cross, an Angus and a Brahman, you just have an ordinary Angus bull or an ordinary Brahman bull and an ordinary Angus cow, an ordinary Brahman cow, miracles happen. It just doesn't happen like that. You've got to select, and genetics are very, very important. We cull our cows for milking ability and temperament, fertility, and conformation. And then our Angus sires are bought from well-known studs. We like a early maturing Angus, not too small, but plenty of beef, and a good top line, good hind quarter, and a good sirey outlook.
Are there any management constraints with what you do?
No, it's easy. We got a large breeding area, and I think this country here is coastal country, and it's only meant for breeding. And I think there's an opportunity to market our F1s, our first cross cattle, because we've got the area where we can run both the purebred parents. And if both purebred parents are of high quality, the female's going to be a very high standard. So anyone buying those females are going to get a good article, and we've found that we have return buyers.
What's your experience been with crossbreeding in a drought?
Well, I like it. We have our Brahman females because of the low protein in the feed on the coast here, and they work our mountain country well. And then with the F1 females, with the hybrid vigour, they've got a great constitution, work the country well, and I think they're, as far as I'm concerned, I'm only speaking for this coastal country, they're the only cross they have, that F1 first cross animal.
How do you pick your sires? You obviously breed your own Brahman sires.
Well, we breed our own Brahman sires, or buy them. We've always got to buy a top sire or use AI. And so that's where the females are derived from, and the Angus bulls are selected from Angus studs. Hopefully studs that are not too far away from the coast, so they fit into the environment quite well.
I noticed the calves are very consistent in their colouring and appearance. They're all black. Does that always happen?
No, it doesn't, but we find we've crossed both ways, and we've used Angus cows and Brahman bulls, and we've gone back to using Brahman cows and Angus bulls because we find the Angus bulls tend to throw a straighter colour, a stronger black colour, and are more consistent. And that's all I've got to say there. I just think we just had the consistency of colour which we're getting is from the Angus bull.